If your only goal is to take photos for social media, do you need a mirrorless camera or a DSLR? Or is your phone just as capable of getting great shots? Today we're going to take a look. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and here we talk about food photography. If you're just getting started with food photography or just looking for tips and techniques to make your food photos better, you'll want to hit that subscribe button and follow along. According to YouTube, only 6% of the people watching my channel are subscribed. If you're in that other 94%, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything and it really helps support the channel. That way you get notified when I release new videos, and let's be honest, with the amount of uploads I do, it's not like I'll be blowing up your feed. So now that that's out of the way, let's jump into the video. Food photography has become one of the most popular niches on social media, and with smartphones now more advanced than ever, many people ask, is it worth investing in a high-end camera, or can you get iPhone photos to do the job just as well? This is not a new question, but as the quality of cameras in phones continues to improve every year, are they able to rival standalone cameras? Interestingly, back in 2016, Bon Appetit magazine shot an entire issue, the March issue, on the iPhone. I believe all the photographers were using the iPhone 6. And keep in mind, this was long before computational photography was a thing, so there was no background blur, all the images were sharp, front to back, and not exactly what we see with food photography today. Now, these were all professional photographers, so each photo was solid from a compositional standpoint, and the issue looked great. And I would bet that if you didn't know the issue was shot on the iPhone, you wouldn't even have noticed. I'll leave a link to the photo set of all those iPhone 6 shots down below if you want to check it out for yourself. It's actually quite interesting. So for this comparison, let's start by breaking down the cameras I've used for these photos. On one side, we have the iPhone 15 Pro, not even the newest model, but still with an amazing camera system. I think at the time when I bought this, it was a $1,200 phone. And on the other side, we have a mirrorless camera, a Nikon Z50 with a 24 to 70 millimeter setup, a $1,700 setup to be total. The iPhone 15 has a 48 megapixel main camera with a 12 megapixel wide camera and a 12 megapixel telephoto zoom. And you can capture in the HEIF, which is their high efficiency, JPEGs, or DNG format, which is a RAW format. On top of that, you've got a powerful software engine to help create amazing images. So on the Nikon, we've got the Z50 has an APS-C sensor, a 20.9 megapixel sensor, the ability to change lenses for more control, and the ability to shoot in RAW for more options when post-processing. I'm using the APS-C size sensor on the Z50 to try and make this as fair as possible for both the iPhone and the camera. For the subject, I set up a simple natural light food scene with some chocolate chunk cookies. For shooting in natural light here, no fancy studio lighting because that's what most people have access to when taking food photos at home. Photos from both the camera and the iPhone were set to as close to similar as I could, so that each of the photos was shot in a JPEG format as well. And I chose that format mainly because the average shooter isn't going to be shooting RAW for social media posts. I'll post both photos here with their settings, and we can dive into the photos a little deeper. Here we have both photos side by side. Notice the depth of field. The background is beautifully blurred in both photos, which makes the subject stand out even more. But notice how the fall off on the photo on the right is much more even. The photo on the left, shot in portrait mode on the iPhone, recognizes the subject and blurs out everything else. It just appears more even and soft on the mirrorless. There's also a slightly more natural color balance. Now, zooming in, you can really see the difference when you get up close. The image from the Nikon definitely is finer and has more detail, where the image from the iPhone is a little softer and muddier. You can see right in this area is where the iPhone decided to start blurring. Now, obviously, this is not something you are really going to notice on an Instagram post, but it does exemplify the difference in the sensor quality. Now, both do a fairly good job with color representation, although the iPhone image is a little cooler, but that can be adjusted based on your personal preference. Now, in my opinion, the difference is subtle, but it's there. The mirrorless camera does give you more flexibility, especially with depth of field and sharpness. But the iPhone image is still stunning, and in many ways, it's much easier to achieve than on the mirrorless camera. So after a side-by-side, what's the verdict? If you're a beginner or just looking for convenience, the iPhone is an amazing choice. It's fast, easy, and the photos look fantastic with minimal effort. Plus, it's always in your pocket. But if you're looking for more creative control, more depth in your shots, and the ability to make your photos stand out with further editing, the larger camera is probably the way to go. It's perfect for those who want to dive deeper into the technical side of photography, or if you're looking to build out a portfolio of food shots that you could use in the future to get paid photography work. Ultimately, it depends on what you're after, but in terms of pure quality, there's no denying that the mirrorless camera has the edge here. That said, if you're only shooting for social media, there's no reason to carry a big clunky camera and lens around when your iPhone will do an admirable job just on its own. So, which one do you prefer, the iPhone or the mirrorless camera? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the comparison, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more food photography tips and techniques, and click that bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.